Unit 3, Lesson 6, Mr. Bowlby's awesome 5th grade class. We're going to talk today about Emily Dickinson. I love Emily Dickinson's work. She is so good. And you know, the interesting thing about her is that she didn't even really write to be published. She wrote to write, which is awesome. She was born in Massachusetts on December 10th, 1830, to a wealthy and successful family. This is all found in your biography area on page 74 in your journal that you're working on so diligently. She maintained many friendships through writing letters to people. She was from a wealthy, successful family, but she was, she lived in seclusion. She wasn't very much of a outgoing people kind of person. She lived on her own most of her life. But she did have a lot of friends that she kept in contact with through writing. So, I mean, she would have probably done pretty well these days via the internet and everything. But in 1830, you didn't have that. You had letters. You had pens and paper and envelopes and stamps and the good old postal service. So she wrote nearly 1,800 poems during her lifetime. Her poems touch upon many themes, including death, nature, the Bible, the human mind, the spirit. Best known for her non-traditional use of syntax and style. Her family discovered her poetry journals after she died in 1886. And that's when they started to publish her at that point. Her first book of published poems was 1890. She's one of America's most important poets. And you'll find when you look at her poems that they are usually numbered. She hardly ever gave them titles. So you'll see the one we're reading today. So today we're going to talk again about plot. We're going to summarize the plot of the poem, identify figurative language like similes and metaphors, analyze the writer's use of imagery affecting the poem's meaning. By the end, you will create similes and metaphors that describe the movements of animals. This particular poem we're reading about is about animals, which is fun. Also, this poem introduces slant rhyme, metaphor, and other examples of figurative language, which we all need to be aware of. You can look at the vocabulary in the glossary at the back of the lesson or in the glossary section. This poem is called it's got 5 different stanzas. That wouldn't be a quatrain. That would be, oh no, it's a quatrain because it's 4 lines. That's right. Sorry. So if it's a 4-line stanza, that is a quatrain, 4. And then slant rhyme is when 2 words share only the same final consonant sound, like crumb and home. You see crumb and home, the M consonant there, that sound is similar. So that's when it's kind of slant rhyme. It's not like rhyme and time or lime and thyme. It's crumb and home. So it's something you need to be aware of. Okay, let me go ahead and read. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass, and then hopped sideways to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head, like once in danger, cautious. I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean to silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashes as they swim. So let's analyze this poem. Listen to stanza 3 as I read it aloud, and then answer the questions on page 68. And we're also answering questions on page 69 too. Again, all of lesson 6. What does the bird do in the first line of the stanza? We're looking again at stanza 3. He glanced with rapid eyes They hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. Number 2, using context clues from the other words in the first 2 lines of the stanza, try to infer the meaning of the word abroad. What does it mean in this stanza? So look at the lines in stanza 3 to see what abroad might mean. Make your best guess on that. Then name a simile in the stanza. Remember the figure of speech. There's metaphors and similes. When you have like or as, you know it's a simile. What is the simile describing? Number 4. And then number 5, what words in the stanza help you know how the bird might feel? Write the words from the stanza and the way you believe the bird feels. Okay, then listen to stanza 4 as it is read aloud. Then answer the questions 6 and 7. So I'm going to read stanza 4 again, or for you, yeah. Like one in danger, cautious, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rode himself home. So, number 6, who is like one in danger? Who is that phrase referring to? And number 7, what does the speaker do in stanza 4, line 2? It might help you to go ahead and write on your book stanza 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like I did. And you can even number the lines in there. You know that this is a quatrain, and a quatrain has 4 lines per stanza. So if we're doing this, we know, because we know math, that 4 times 5 is 20, that we should have 20. So it might help you to go ahead and number your stanzas and your lines to give you an idea of where to look when we're asking you to look up something. Again, the poem doesn't have a title because she didn't really title her poems. The numbers in there were added by the family gathering the poems and then working on publishing them. Okay, so poem has 5 stanzas. Each stanza has 4 lines. What rhyming scheme is in the poem's first 2 stanzas? What is the rhyming scheme? Remember, that's the words that rhyme in each stanza. The 2nd and 4th lines in each stanza rhyme. So the rhyme scheme for the first 2 stanzas is A, B, C, B. That'll be A, B, C, B, because you have walk, and then you have saw, then you have halves, and then you have raw. And raw is rhyming with saw, so that's B as well, okay? Then you're on a new stanza. You're looking at the word do, and that would be D. The word grass would be E. The word wall would be F. And the word pass, does that rhyme with grass? It does. So D, E, F, E. You understand where we're going then? You can go ahead and do the same with the rest of the stanzas, because as the pattern changes slightly in stanzas 3 through 5, because it starts using the words like head, crumb, and home, so you're going to see that. I look at the different use of the words, like abroad, head, crumb, home, the word pairs, okay? Seam and swim, for example. Seam swim. Okay. Listen to the consonant sounds and see what they're sharing. Do your best on that, of course. Now, the next part, pages 68 and 69. Sorry, we already did 68 and 69. 70 and 71 is teamwork time, working with a partner. Now, or group, but mostly it would be better to have someone that can handle list A and list B on this chart. So you're going to determine the meaning of the pair and describe the meaning in your own words for each of these. So number 1 says one student should pick a word from list A, like the word eat, and the other should pick a word from list B, like the word lion. Try to pick pairs of words that seem to go together. So I wouldn't necessarily put eat and lion next to each other. Well, maybe, I don't know, possibly. But you're supposed to write the words in the space. So words from list A, words from list B, a word from each one. So pick those. Work together with a partner to write a simile that uses the words like or as to connect the animal action to something else. See, the list in B is all animals: lion, snake, dog, horse, pony, bird. List A is all actions: eat, sing, jump, roar, hiss, prance. So you can say that the snake hissed at me like the sound of air being let loose out of a balloon. That might be a very strange sound. It sounds more like an elephant. But anyway, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have a balloon with me. So you get the idea, though. So you can say, like, he bit an, remember the poem? He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. The meanings of the line is that the bird ate a worm. So yeah, you're writing a simile with this. So for example, if you have the word flap and bird, you might write the bird's wings flapped like oars dividing the ocean. It's pretty cool, actually. Then number 3, work together with your partner to turn a simile into a metaphor. Remember, metaphor does not use the words like or as. So you might write the bird's flapping wings were oars dividing the air. But don't write that exact sentence. You need to come up with your own metaphor. Okay, so that is the end of this lesson. I think I have covered everything. Let me just check. Pretty much for general overview. I like how she writes, though. And so you're looking at the different lists and you're creating your own metaphor and simile to go along with it. So we covered the poetic devices. Emily Dickinson's poem number 359 is the name of this particular poem. Plot of the poem, figurative language, metaphors, similes, analyzing imagery, affects the poem's meaning, and how she writes with describing the animal's movements, bird eating the worm and everything. Okay, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thank you.